Welcome to the live, you guys. I always give a new tax refund, delayed refund update. And you guys, I know I have been on here a while, but welcome you guys to the live. Now, if you have any questions or comments during this video or after the video, make sure you drop it below. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, make sure you do. You guys, I've been off of here, but I am back. You guys, I am back to be giving you refund updates. And a lot of things are going on, you guys, about that beautiful new tax bill. Also, you guys, I know a lot of you are discouraged because some of you are still experiencing delays. Some of you still may not have received your refund. So keep reaching out to the IRS. And I know, you might not hear anything, but do not give up on your refund, okay? If you need any help, make sure that you reach out to your state congressman and also your tax advocate, okay? So what is going on with this beautiful new tax bill? Well, a lot of changes, you guys, and I received it from actually my tax products group, okay? One beautiful bill, okay, becomes law. We all know that as well. The White House announced the passage of President Trump one beautiful bill which delivers significant tax cuts and regulatory shields for individuals and businesses. So you see a lot of changes. Welcome, you guys. If you have any comments or questions, drop it down. I know I've been off, but I am back today. And you guys, I will be back doing it weekly, okay? Also know that with the beautiful bill, you guys, you're going to see lower statutory income tax rates across almost all tax brackets. And then I will be giving you updates, you guys, before tax season. I always do that, you guys. No tax on tips or overtime pay. Also, accelerated depreciation and expanded business credit. So if you have a business, you guys, this year and then you file taxes, you're going to see a lot of benefits for those of you who have businesses, okay? So why does this matter? This sweeping change will directly affect tax planning for 2025, okay, and beyond. And I always tell you guys, tax planning is very important. That's how the rich stay rich, you guys, because they tax plan, okay? So, and beyond. So also, you have to make sure, you guys, that during this tax season, you're really making sure that you're filing everything correctly on your tax return, because we don't want any more delays like we experienced. A lot of you have been experienced in 2025, okay? So make sure you're doing that as well. Let's talk about the state's tax shakeup with this beautiful bill, okay? Okay, there's a wave of new state and local sales tax rules as of this started in July 1st, 2025 that impact you and also our clients if you're a taxpayer. Okay, Maryland is now taxing most business IT and data services. Mississippi slashed its grocery tax from 7% to 5%. Over 20 states updated rates are compliance rule. Why did this matter? Okay, I'm sharing all this, but why did this matter? Because businesses operating across the state lines face increased complexity, okay? Especially with new service and software as a service taxable standard. So you're going to see a lot of new changes. So for those of us who are tax prepared, make sure that you keep good records, okay? They've been cracking down for those people who've been filing false returns and all that, and you've seen it in the news. But this beautiful new tax bill, you're gonna see a lot of change. If you have a business, you would expect in 2026, you guys, to not have as much to paying when you file your taxes. Okay, so it's gonna really help you and benefit you with that. Now, for those of you, getting back to you, I hadn't forgot you, the ones who are still waiting on their tax refund. Again, reach out. That's a whole code. That's a whole code, 571. So let me put you on the screen. Welcome. That's a whole code. I have a 471 code. Will return my refund come soon, okay? So unfortunately, unfortunately, sometimes when you have that 570, you don't experience the 570 code, and then when it's removed, so you had the 570 and now it's 571. When you have it removed, it takes time, okay? It takes time for everything to update, okay? So it's still being processed. So when you have that 570 code and that code is being removed to 571, it takes a while. So you're back in processing. Now, how long would it take you? Only the IRS knows. So you have to contact the IRS regarding that, okay? Because it goes right back into processing, okay? All right. And hopefully, I always tell people, I hope that you get your refund soon, okay? Uh, Anybody else with any more questions? I know I've been out for a minute, you guys, and I've been seeing people contact me, but don't get discouraged, you guys. A lot of people have been facing this. And let me see, I had some more. I had went over the beautiful tax bill and then another email from my tax partner. Okay. Also, with the employee retention credit, for those of you who file that, new penalties and disallowances, okay, in response to a surge in improper. So people file improper claims for the employee retention credit or ERC. They're cracking down. Also, part of July's one beautiful big bill. Okay, one big beautiful bill. Okay. ER claims from quarter 3 or quarter 4 filed after January 31st, 20 are disallowed. So a lot of people who filed their ERC and they thought they're going to get money, a lot of stuff is being disallowed. Okay, also the IRS can now audit claims for 6 years. Okay, for the improper of employee retention credit. So for those of you who be filing things during tax season, be mindful and be careful, okay? Because now they give you up to 6 years, those who filed it, to get back the improper, the money, and then you get 20% penalty. Why it matters, if you are those of you who are tax preparers, listen up. If you or your clients filed ERC claims for the 3rd or 4th quarter of 2021, you got to review those files immediately. Why? The statute of limitations for audits just got much longer. So now, again, 6 years. So be mindful if you have a tax preparer doing 2026, because we're getting ready to get closer. Even though it's August, we're getting ready to head into another tax year. So for those of you who are filing the wrong things on your return, if you have a tax preparer filing the wrong things, it's time to get serious, because the auditing is up to 6 years. Okay, they're increasing things with this beautiful bill. Also, charitable giving. Okay, charitable giving. The new law expands and modifies charitable contributions. Okay, above the line deduction for non-itemized is now permanent, 1,000 single and 2,000 joint. Okay, for itemizers, contribution above 0.5% of AGI are deductible, and the top tax benefit is capped at 35%, down from 37%. Okay, you have a new tax credit up to $1,700 for donations and K-12 scholarship organizations. So if you're one who is very giving with charitable donations, again, you're going to benefit when you start filing in 2026. Why this matters, why I'm sharing it to you. Okay, charities, tax advisors, corporations, and donors may have to start planning conversations for their clients' 2026 tax year regarding all this. Okay, so also the National Association of Tax Professionals is sounding the alarm. So if you're a tax preparer, you got to be careful. Okay, over proposed IRS staffing cuts and potential expansions to taxpayer data access. So why did this matter? Okay, a lot of us experience with tax filing in 2025. A lot of people, the reason why they didn't receive their tax refund, and some of you are watching, is because of fewer staff members, right? Okay, so fewer IRS resources could mean slower responses, which a lot of you have been receiving, okay? More errors and longer wait times. Just as digital threats and complexity are rising, stay alert for changes to compliance standards and data handling protocols. Now is a great time to double check. For those of you who are tax preparers and those of you who are taxpayers, make sure you go back over. You should have a copy if you're a taxpayer of your tax return. Make sure you're reviewing it. Make sure you signed off. Make sure you're a tax preparer or you filed and you didn't put anything wrongfully on there, because now they're going to audit you up to 6 years. Okay? They can audit you up to 6 years. For the 2026 tax season, consider leveraging bank products and different things, you guys, as well, ahead of tax season for those who are tax preparers. But for those of you who are taxpayers, okay, limited staff, limited resources, which we experienced by the end of this tax season. You know, it wasn't the beginning of it. If you got in the beginning of the tax season, you guys, then you see stuff. Everybody pretty much got their refund, hopefully, but a lot of people still didn't. If you had any errors, if you're stuck in review, if you had any letters, then that put it on hold. So for those of you, while I'm going live to share this with you so late after tax season, and a lot of you already know this, the reason why your 2025 tax refund is delayed because of limited staff, limited resources. So that's why in 2025 they was encouraging a lot of people to go ahead and file their tax refunds early. Now, I recommend that in 2026, okay? But I also recommend that you're making sure when you're filing that you have everything ready, that you're not filing things that you shouldn't file, or your tax preparer shouldn't file on your tax return, because you can get audited up to 6 years. ERCR, the Employee Retention Credit, is not active. You're not going to be able to get it. For those of you who got it and you're not supposed to got it, you're probably going to be audited. And if you're not eligible, you're going to have to pay it back. And those who are tax preparers who also did this and shouldn't have done it, they're going to have penalties as well. So be mindful during tax season, you guys, who you let file your taxes. Now, also, I don't know, you guys, that they're trying to do away with the free tax preparation that's on IRS.gov. Now, I'm not confirmed that, but that's what I've heard, that they're trying to do away with you filing the free file for those of you who made it easier, so you won't have to, if you had a simple return. Not for those who had a complex tax return. For those of you who had a simple return, then they're trying to do away with the free. Now, we're going to know more, and I'm going to know more right before tax season, okay? Because when is it going to be, November or in December, we give the holiday loans, okay? So we're going to learn more about what's going on before the tax season even comes in, okay? So be mindful. Make sure you're tax planning. Make sure you're reviewing your tax return. If you have not received your refund, again, I always been telling you guys, reach out to your state congressman, your Senate, the ones that are in the House and the ones that are in the Senate, and seeking they help you regarding your refund. Now, a lot of people don't want to do that because why I got to give my Social Security number? Why I got to do all this? Well, if you want the congressman's office to speak on your behalf, you're going to have to go to their website, find who your state congressman is, go to their website, you guys, and I showed you the steps, and I have videos. I have over 500 videos that I have shared on my YouTube channel telling you guys the steps on with the congressman. Go to your state. Everybody's not the same. You're going to have to complete a form. Okay, you're gonna have to give them access. That's why you got to complete a form. You're gonna have to give them information, and it's a federal agency. So anytime that you need help with a federal agency, it's gonna be on their website. You click, basically you're requesting help from a federal agency. The IRS is a federal agency. So you're gonna have to complete an online form to help you regarding, look, I need help with my tax refund. In the box, do not put any information about your social security and them, all that. They're gonna ask you that. Okay, they're gonna ask you that after. Now, if you go to their website and they have it on there in the fill in, then you're gonna have to put in that. Okay. Also, make sure you have all the copies of your tax return if you're wanting them to help you with your refund. You got to have the information, and then you got to request a federal agency. And the IRS is a federal agency, you guys, and they'll be able to reach out and speak on your behalf, but you got to make sure that you complete that form, and they'll reach back out to you by phone or by email. Okay, for those of you, and also for the person that put a while ago that he or she had that 571 code. Know that when you have a 570 code, you have had, that's a whole code. So the 571 code is when that code is being removed, and they're gonna put it you back in processing. So even though it's you removed out the holding, you still got to go through processing, you guys. It's still going to take time. How long? We don't know. It depends on the IRS. If you need questions regarding your refund, contact the IRS regarding your refund, okay? And try to get somebody. Now, after tax season, I know a lot of you like, ooh, I can't get a hold of somebody. Okay, let me see. I got a letter before that code, CPO5. They said, right, 60 days, right. A lot of people did. To review, then I got 571, okay? So they have to send my refund within that time frame, okay? Well, it depends on the IRS. Okay, a lot of people say that, but what they can do is extend it. Now they send you a letter. It's a lot of people every tax season been getting a letter, and they said, well, we're gonna do it within 60 days. But guess what? They end up getting another letter. It's another 60 days. Look, I'm going into my 7th year doing taxes. This is my 3rd year. This is my 3rd or 4th year on YouTube with giving tax information. That's why I have so many videos, and I have seen it before. So they have to send it. Okay, let's see. I'm going through all this just because my bank account got closed, right? And it rejected it and it returned it back to the IRS. And I did a trace on my account, right? A lot of people did. So when your bank account is closed, or they send it to the wrong bank account, or sometimes people, I know you didn't, but a lot of people are putting it in other people's name that don't match on their tax return. They send it back to the IRS, and it takes, sometimes people get it quickly, and sometimes people go through a long period of time. And you absolutely right. They're supposed to do it within 60 days. But if they don't, what they do, they'll send you another letter. They send you another letter and say, we need more time. We're going to be another 60 days. Okay. So if that makes sense to you, if some people have 60 days, some people get 120, 180. Dude, I done did tax refund updates all the way to December when I started doing this on YouTube, you guys. And some people still did not get their refund until the next tax season. Okay. So it all depends on the IRS, and they can go longer than what you think. Okay. All right. They can send you a letter and say 60, and then they do an extension because they said they need more time, and they'll do it. And I understand what you are going through. That is difficult, but there's a lot of people that went through the same thing as you. They bank account closed and it went back to the IRS, and they had trouble doing it, and it's been months since they got it. And then it's some people that they do it and they get their refund quickly after that. Okay. I'm sorry that you're going through that, but I do want you to know that it can be longer than that 60-day wait, because they can send you another letter. I understand the CPO 5 because a lot of people got the CPO 5 letter review letters too. Okay, and I've seen it before. Anybody else with any more questions? Okay, you guys, I've been off of here. I've been on TikTok, you guys. So I'll be on there helping on teaching and helping on TikTok as well. So if you want to follow me on TikTok, I'm on the same profile. Make sure it's me. Okay, on there. For those of you who don't know, but I'm gonna try to make sure I be on here weekly. I've been off of here. I have been going through a lot, you guys. So I've been off of him getting a weekly update so much after tax season. But I'm gonna be start making sure that I follow up with you guys to see what's going on all the way to December. And then I'm gonna be giving you the new information because with this beautiful new tax bill, it's gonna be a lot of changes in 2026 with the new administration. Okay. So, if you did ask questions, you guys on this live, and you feel like you might have more questions, you can comment after this live or under. A lot of people do it under my old videos. I have a lot of people come in under my old videos about certain things, you guys, about their tax refund. Okay, but I pray that y'all get y'all refund soon, and I'll try to make sure I go live again on Wednesdays. So, for those of you watching Wednesdays, I'm gonna be giving the updates on Wednesday, so you can go back with me, and I'm gonna try to make sure it's at 11 a.m. That's what I used to do it at. 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, unless I change it. I will be live, or I also, if I'm not live, I usually upload a video giving you new tax refund update. Okay, if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel because I'm gonna be doing it all the way December and giving you the new, also the holiday loans with my clients. It's going to be offered in, it's either November around Thanksgiving or Christmas as well. So I always go live telling about that too. Well, I hope y'all have a great day and be blessed.